Hello, Bright Minds. Welcome back to another lesson here at Bright Minds with Anisha. Today, we will explore a topic that is at the heart of the global economy and impacts community across the world: travel and tourism. When we think of tourism, we often picture beautiful destinations, adventures, and relaxation. But did you know tourism also brings significant economic, environmental, and cultural changes to the places we visit? In this session, we will investigate these impacts, both positive and negative, and how they shape the world we live in. Today, we are diving into an important topic in the world of travel and tourism: the diverse impacts this industry has on our world. Tourism is more than just a means of exploring new places. It's a powerful force that affects economies, environments, and cultures in profound ways. From boosting local businesses to shaping global environmental policies, tourism influence is far reaching. However, with these benefits come challenges. Over the next few minutes, we will explore the positive and negative effects of tourism and why it's crucial to strike a balance for sustainable growth. Let's start by looking at the economic side of tourism. Tourism plays a vital role in boosting the economy of many countries. It creates jobs not just in hotels and restaurants, but also in transportation, entertainment, and even local craft market. When tourists visit a destination, they spend money on accommodation, food, shopping, and tours, and all of this generates income for local communities. It also encourages infrastructure development. For instance, the construction of roads, airports, and public services often happens because of tourism growth. But it's not all positive. Tourism can also have some downsides for the economy. Many jobs created by tourism are seasonal, meaning people might have employment only during peak travel seasons. Also, the rise in tourism can drive up prices in local areas, making everyday goods and real estate more expensive for residents. And in some countries, economies become too dependent on tourism, making them vulnerable when the number of visitors drops, like what we saw during the COVID-19 pandemic. Next, let's look at the environmental impacts. Tourism can have a positive effect on the environment. When people visit natural parks and wildlife reserves, the money generated from their visits can be used to preserve and protect these areas. For example, ecotourism encourages sustainable travel, which focuses on minimizing environmental damages and conserving resources. So this helps fund environmental conservation efforts. However, tourism can also have serious negative consequences on the environment. Increased tourist activity often leads to the overuse of natural resources like water, land, and forest. Popular tourist spots are at the risk of pollution from litter, sewage, and air emissions from transport. The carbon footprint from flights, cars, and cruise ships contributes significantly to global warming. And in some cases, tourism can damage delicate ecosystems such as coral reefs being affected by snorkeling and boating activities. Now let's move on to the social and cultural impact of tourism. One of the positive aspects is the opportunity for cultural exchange. When tourists travel, they interact with local people, learn about their traditions, and often gains a greater appreciation for different cultures. Tourism can also help preserve local heritage as the income it generates can be used to maintain historic sites, museums, and cultural festivals. But there are negative sides as well. In some cases, local cultures can become commodified, where traditions are changed or exaggerated just to please tourists. For example, cultural performances may be altered to fit tourist schedules rather than staying true to their original meaning. Over-tourism can also lead to the erosion of local identities as places become overcrowded with tourists and lose their unique charm. In some destinations, this has even caused tensions between locals and tourists. Moreover, increased tourism can lead to rising crime rates and social inequality in these areas. To better understand these impacts, let's take a look at some real-world case studies. In the Maldives, tourism is the backbone of the economy. It has brought wealth and job opportunities to the islands, but at the same time, it has caused inflation, making daily life more expensive for locals. The Maldives is also vulnerable to global tourism trends such as travel restrictions during the pandemic, which had a devastating effect on the economy. In Australia, the Great Barrier Reef is a top tourist destination. While tourism generates revenue for conservation, it also harms the reef. Overcrowding and pollution from boats and the snorkelers are contributing to the reef's degradation, threatening marine life. Lastly, in Venice, Italy, we see the consequences of over-tourism. The city's beautiful canals and historic architecture attract millions of visitors each year, but this has led to overcrowding, higher living costs, and even the displacement of local residents who are being pushed out by the influx of tourists. Managing tourism impacts. To ensure that tourism continues to provide benefits without overwhelming local communities or the environment, it's important to promote sustainable tourism. Governments and local authorities are working to develop tourism policies that protect natural and cultural resources. For instance, some destinations limit the number of visitors, promote eco-friendly hotels, and encourage tourists to minimize their environmental impacts. Travelers also have a role to play in this by choosing eco-friendly accommodations, supporting local businesses, and respecting the culture and environment of the place they visit. In conclusion, tourism has wide-reaching impacts on the world, influencing economies, cultures, and the environment. While it brings many positive changes like job creation and cultural exchange, we also need to be aware of the negative effects such as environmental damage and social disruption. By practicing responsible tourism, we can help ensure that travel benefits everyone. Thank you for joining today's session. Don't forget to subscribe to Bright Minds with Anisha for more educational contents. And let's keep learning together. See you in the next video. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.